Hi everyone. It's so good to see you again. We are going to be working on the art project today. A is for apple. Are you ready? Awesome. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about what we need to do this project. You need, what color is this piece of paper? Yeah, it's red. And can anyone tell me what shape this is that's around the letter A? Yeah, it's a circle. And you either have a letter A that looks like this or that looks like this. These are both the letter A. But one of them is called a capital letter. Can you try and say that? Capital letter. That's what this A looks like. And the other one is called a lowercase letter. Can you say that with me? Lowercase letter. So I'm going to be showing you with both so that you can see what we're doing on both letters. I mean, you'll have one letter, but regardless if you have a capital or lowercase, you'll see what we're doing. Okay, so we're gonna need our project. Attached to our red pieces of paper with the circle is this. Can you guys, anybody tell me what those are? Yeah, they are apples. And those are stapled to, just like this, to your letter. So what I did and what you want to do is just very gently pull them apart. And if you rip it a little bit, it doesn't matter because we're not using that part. See, I ripped that one when I was taking it off, but we don't need it because we're going to be cutting around the apples. Then you can go ahead and put your apples to the side. You are also going to need crayons or markers for coloring the apples, and we're going to use one of them to practice writing your name. You're going to need a pair of scissors, and when we're learning to cut with scissors, we always want to start learning with the smaller scissors with the rounded tips. This is a sharper tip. You want the ones with the rounded tips, unless you've been cutting for a long time. And then I have a glue stick, or you can use liquid glue with a paintbrush. The other things that we're going to need that are not materials is we need our pincher fingers for this project. This is your pincher finger. It's your first finger and your thumb pinching up and down. And we need your pincher fingers because once we cut up our little apples, we're going to need to grab them with our pincher fingers to put them on the letter A. The next thing that we're going to need is cutting muscles. So this is how you show me you brought your cutting muscles to school. Who has them? Amazing. And the last thing that you're going to need for every project is your imagination. And that's when you just let yourself think, where do you want to put something on the page? How many of them do you want to put on the page? What colors do you want? You get to just think of these, and then whatever you want to do creatively is good. So that's what our imaginations help us do. They help us to create. And so, I always bring water, but that's because I get thirsty when I do art, so you don't need it if you're not. You guys ready to get started? Okay, so I wanted to show you this. This is our Zoophonics card. We're gonna learn the whole alphabet in Zoophonics this year. This is our very first letter that we're starting with. It is the letter A, and I'll show you how we do this one. So we say, A, alligator, and we go like this. Ah, ah, ah. Pretend like our arms are an alligator's mouth. Can you do it with me? Alligator. Ah, ah, ah. Good job. Do you hear the sound of the A sound? Apple, alligator. Do you hear that first A sound? That's the sound of the letter A. Okay, so we're going to take our A, and what we're going to do first, we're going to cut as close to the line as we can. It does not have to be perfect. And in fact, if you wind up cutting into your A, that's okay too. So just remember, we're practicing and we're learning, okay? So we're gonna cut our A out in this circular shape. And then we're going to look at our apples and we're going to predict. That means we're gonna think about. We're going to predict how many apples do we think it's going to take to cover the letter A. And then once we make a prediction, we're going to color those apples however you want to color them, whatever color you want to color them. Then we're going to cut the apples out, and then we're going to paste them to our letter A. That's when you'll need your pincher fingers. So I want to show you, for those of you that are new to cutting, I want to show you how to use it, how to hold scissors and how to use scissors. So learning how to cut with scissors can be a bit challenging at first. Your cutting muscles that you build up are just like the same muscles that you build up when you're exercising. But as you grow, your hands will develop their own muscles to be able to cut easier. So we're practicing. We're going to practice cutting because we're going to build up those cutting muscles. So if this is challenging, if it feels challenging to you because you might be new to cutting, just know that that's a part of it. And once we practice, it will get easier and easier and easier. Okay? So I'm going to show you how to hold the scissors. You're going to have 1, 2, 3 fingers in the top loop and your thumb in the bottom. You see that? Can you try it? And as you're trying it, I'm going to show you how you hold the scissors if you are left hand dominant. That means that you feel more comfortable writing and cutting with your left hand. So the same thing, 1, 2, 3 on top and your thumb on the bottom. Okay. So go ahead and hold your scissors. And remember, even holding the scissors the right way is something that we're practicing and learning. So don't worry if you don't get it just right away. Okay. Preschool is all about practice and all about learning. Okay, so we're going to start cutting. If you need more time, you can pause it and take some more time. The other tip to cutting is you want to hold the paper with the hand that you're not using to cut with. And you want to hold your hand far away from where you're cutting so that you don't have to worry about cutting your fingers accidentally. So I am going to start cutting here, and then I'm going to go along the circle. But I'm going to start my hand out right here because it's far away, and it helps me control where I'm cutting if I'm holding it. Now, once I get up here with the scissors, I'm going to change where my hand is. I'm going to put it up here so that if I'm cutting here, my hand is still in a safe distance away from the scissors. All right, so here we go. It's just an up and down motion. Down, up, down, up. And you go at your own pace. If you want to take it really nice and slow, absolutely take your time. And like I said, if you cut into your letter like this, see, I cut into my letter, that's okay. It's still going to be a beautiful piece of art. We're still learning how to cut. We're still learning about our letter, and we're still learning how to count and paste. So if it doesn't turn out perfect, that's okay. So how does it feel to cut? Yeah, it can be a bit difficult until we build up these muscles. And then one day, once you've built up your muscles and you're old enough that your hands are developed, it'll be super, super easy. Just one day you'll pick something up and start cutting it after practicing, and you'll be like, wow, that wasn't even hard at all. And if it's not hard, that is great too. So go ahead, take your time, and go up, down. And sometimes parents, it's easier for them to get started if you overlap with their hand, meaning that you would take your 3 fingers and your thumb and you would just get them in there anywhere you can to teach them to do the up and down method. I've taught a lot of kiddos how to use scissors doing that. And it's like they need a lot of help, and then all of a sudden they just take off and start doing it themselves. Go ahead and take your time.